Alright, now when it comes to performance and gaming, usually you think of thick, beefy laptops. You know, laptops that have those thick frames, big fan setups, and those are very heavy to carry around. Well, this right here is the Lenovo Slim 7, which is, well, a very portable yet a very powerful gaming laptop. But the question is that power too much to handle for this setup? Or should you be spending close to 1.5 lakhs on this setup? Let's find out. This is One from GTR and you're watching my in-depth review of the Lenovo Legion Slim 7. Let's get started. Alright, so let's kick things off by talking about the design here. Now, the overall design language here is quite similar to the Lenovo Legion design language that we've seen on previous devices. Now, the lid here is offset by a few millimeters towards the keyboard and it has an aluminum case with a matte surface. Now, this does attract a lot of fingerprints and is quite a hassle to clean up, but nonetheless, the finish definitely looks very good once it's clean. You also have tiny small details that add on to the elegance of this laptop, such as the circular and centered power plus fingerprint key button, as well as the dotted hole design near the power button, which looks very cool. Now, the laptop weighs under 2 kgs, and in that context, considering the kind of horsepower this thing packs in, it's a very good form factor. Now, one thing that I would like to strictly point out is something that I've noticed happening on a lot of laptops out there, which is these stickers. I mean, I understand that you have to put these brandings over here, but the way a lot of OEMs just put them just spoils the entire look. I mean, just envision this laptop without these stickers. It would look so clean, but these stickers just really spoil the whole look. Maybe that's why Apple pays, or at least used to pay Intel extra for not having to include that Intel sticker. The more you know. Now, in terms of I/O, you get an SD card reader slot, a 3.5 headphone jack, 2 USB Type-C ports which support power delivery and DisplayPort, 2 super speed USB-A ports, and a proprietary power port. Now, 2 things to highlight here. One, we have the AMD Ryzen variant with us, which basically means that although these are Type-C ports, they're not Thunderbolt ports like you would get on the Intel variant. Secondly, while you have a lot of ports here, I just don't understand the fact of why you would miss out on an HDMI port. I mean, you had a lot of space over here. You could have accommodated that. Now, Lenovo does provide a dongle for that, which somehow got lost in shipping in our unit, but rest assured, the brand does provide that, so that's good. Moving on to the display, you get a 15.6-inch Quad HD panel with a 165Hz refresh rate. Now, the panel supports both AMD FreeSync and Nvidia G-Sync, and it also has support for Dolby Vision. The panel also supports 100% sRGB, and there's also a peak brightness of 300 nits. In terms of color accuracy, Lenovo also provides X-Rite Color Assistant to help you choose with various color profiles. I mean, as far as viewing quality is concerned, this is as good as it gets. And of course, the 165Hz refresh rate also adds on. I mean, it's not just for gaming. In fact, the entire UI looks very smooth. Of course, I will be talking about the gaming experience in the performance section, so make sure to stay tuned. However, coming back to the entertainment part, a good display needs a good audio setup to fully, well, give you that great cinematic experience, right? And the Legion Slim 7 has you covered on that front as well. Now, even though the laptop comes with down-firing speakers, they come with Naimic C for advanced audio manipulation, and the sound output in itself is very loud and quite clear. Furthermore, the added functions that are provided by the app help you really fine-tune it as per your liking. Alright, so moving along, let's talk about the keyboard and the touchpad. Oh, by the way, 180 flat inch. So you can see keyboard and the touchpad. Alright, so let's start by talking about the keyboard first, which is easily my favorite aspect about any Lenovo laptop out there. So the Legion comes with basically what you would call the keyboard that's inspired from the ThinkPad lineup, which is great. The key travel here is great. The layout is amazing. The overall typing experience is so good. I mean, it hardly gets anything better than that. And of course, it's a gaming laptop, so you also get the lovely RGB backlighting here. Moving on to the touchpad, well, it's a mixed bag of opinions. But the good part is that the surface is good. and the gestures work fine. However, during long sessions, I found them to have some sort of ghost touches. Now, of course, this is a gaming laptop, and for the majority of your usage time, you will be using a dedicated gaming mouse with it. So that's good. And whenever you need to rely on the touchpad, it's more than enough for that. Moving on, we have the webcam here, which also reminds me that the hinge here is slightly on the looser side. It's not super sturdy, but obviously it's not that annoying either. But nonetheless, coming back to the video footage, it's soft, it's grainy, but the color balance is pretty much on point. I mean, I've hardly seen a gaming laptop have a webcam with this good of a color science. Now, do keep in mind that we're recording this in studio setup, so your mileage may vary. But at least at the time of recording, the color science looks good. Obviously, it's a Lenovo laptop, so one more good thing that they've added is that you get a physical toggle here at the top. Sorry, that was just my finger. As you can see, it's a little tough to use, even though it has a textured finish. And off. As you can see, the video is still recording, but obviously there's a physical shutter over it, so nothing can be seen. And yeah, take some time adjusting to the lighting, but yeah, it works just fine. Alright, so let's talk about the performance. Now, our unit here comes with the AMD Ryzen 7 5800H processor, clocked at 3.2 GHz with a turbo speed of 4.4 GHz. Now, it has an integrated AMD Radeon graphics for everyday computing, and you also get a dedicated Nvidia GeForce RTX 30 with 6 GB of VRAM. There's also 16 GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 3200 MHz, and for storage, you get a 1 TB M2 SSD from SK Hynix. Now, as far as the overall performance is concerned, the system is very efficient and fast when it comes to gaming, video editing, and other demanding applications or services. Now, for synthetic benchmarks, you can see the results on your screens where the Legion has performed amazingly. Even for gaming, the results have been great consistently across all AAA titles such as Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, and others. Now, if you are more into esports titles such as Valorant and Rocket League, the 165Hz refresh rate works amazingly well, and obviously it comes in very handy. The input lag here is also quite low, so the laptop is definitely bound to give an advantage for esports and competitive titles for sure. Moving on to editing, the laptop is great for 1080p video editing. Everything works well in Premiere Pro while you're on 1080p. However, if you make the shift to 4K, then the laptop has certain issues when you're playing around with multiple layers. However, I don't think it's an issue of the thermals or the processor, it's just a bottleneck of the RAM. 16 GB of RAM on a Windows machine is going to be a bottleneck if you are doing 4K editing. So yeah, that is one thing to keep in mind. I am not sure if Lenovo does offer you an option to upgrade this to 32 GB by default at the time of purchasing. However, digging inside, you can upgrade the RAM. Other than that, as far as the internals are concerned, you also get an extra M2 slot for additional storage drive that you want to pair with the 1 TB SSD already provided. As you can see, the fans are pretty nice and the thermals on this laptop have been pretty good without leaving much to complain for. Lastly, you can see the 71 watt massive battery. So let's talk about the battery life in itself. Now, there are two ways to look at it. If you look at it from a strictly gaming laptop's perspective, then it's pretty good. The laptop lasts 3 to 4 hours, which is about what you would expect from a beefy gaming laptop. However, this is not a beefy gaming laptop. Instead, this is a very portable machine. So ideally, you would expect 6 to 6.5 hours of battery backup, considering that this is still a powerhouse machine. Unfortunately, in that context, like even if you're just using the Radeon graphics and not the Nvidia graphics, the battery life is not that high. Like the max you can squeeze out, even with like on the balanced mode and like under realistic loads, is going to be max to max around 4.5 hours, which might be fine for some users, but obviously some people might still complain about it. So yeah, I mean, that is your call whether you're happy with that level of battery backup or not. Which brings us to the pricing. Now, our unit here as configured is priced for around 1.4 lakhs, although you can get it on discounts for 1.25 as well. And for that amount of money, I think this is a great deal. Now, hear me out. Considering if you just look at the spec sheet, you would say, yeah, I can get a similarly spec laptop for far less. And that's true, I completely agree. But those laptops, like I said, will be beefy machines that won't be something that you can carry around. The Slim 7 offers an experience like it's a true portable gaming laptop. Like you will literally carry it around wherever you want to go. You can use it for work on the go. Of course, for gaming, you will be plugging it in anyway because you can't be you really can't be gaming on the battery backup. That's just stupid. But yeah, overall, I think if the portability factor matters to you, this is an excellent deal. And well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Juan from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.